and percents. We are live from Core 2, Lesson 5. All right. All right. Let's take a look at how to order fractions, decimals, and percents. There's two different ways you can do it. We could either turn them all into fractions or all into decimals. So let's follow along on our steps here. Number one, change them all to the same number form. The first time we're going to change them to fractions. So go ahead and write fractions, which we just practiced. Then, after we have found our equivalent fractions, we'll compare the numerators, and then we will reorder the original numbers. So, 2% means 2 over 100. That's fraction form. 2/5 I want to change into fraction form. I can change 5 into 100 by multiplying by 20. So I get 40 over 100. And I have my decimal form 2/10. I can also change that into a denominator of 100. Now I have 20 hundredths. So now that all my denominators are the same, I could just compare my numerators. Right, sugar gliders?
Yes!
All right. So first we'll look at the least, which is 2 hundredths. I'm going to write it back in my original form, which is 2%. Then I'm going to look back up and find the next smallest fraction, which is 20 hundredths. And that started off as a decimal, 0 and 2/10. And finally, that leaves us our 40 hundredths, which is 2/5. So I'm going to pretend we're pausing the tape. You're going to work on the next section, or number 2, for practice. When you're ready, and I keep calling it a tape, it's really not a tape, but you can press start again after you've practiced this. All right, changing them all to decimals. Let's look at the second way we can do this. Let's change them all to the same number form. This time we're going to be using decimals. And the method for this is line up the decimals and compare the value of each number. So we'll look at the tenths and hundredths digits to compare. Then we'll reorder the original numbers. So 8% I know is 8 out of 100. I want to get that to a decimal form, which would be 0.08. That's that tricky one where you have to get the 8 to the hundredths place as a decimal. 4/5 I know is 8/10, which is 8 hundredths. So as a decimal, 80 hundredths. So as a decimal is 0.80. And I want to get that to the hundredths because my first one was in hundredths. And then I have 0.6, which is 6/10, and simply I want to get that to 100, so they're all in the same place, so I add a 0. Now I'm going to just line these up off to the side, up and down, so I can compare their places. So I have 0.08, I have 0.80, and I have 0.60. Okay, looking at my tenth spot first, I can see the 0 in the tenths is the smallest. So 8 hundredths, or 8%, is the smallest. And then here, my 6 is in the tenth spot. So that's smaller than this 8 in the tenth spot. So 0.6 is next. And then finally, that leftover 4/5, which is 80 hundredths, would be next. Okay, I'm going to stop here. You guys try number 2 on your own. Come back with any questions. And the sugar gliders are going to say goodbye.